Hello, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to this recap edition of Wolves Weekly. Joining me today, we have head volleyball coach Brad Saindon. How you doing, Brad?
Good, Danny. How are you?
Good. It feels like a lot of weeks we're always talking about a road trip that you guys have just been on, and coming off another right then.
Yeah, we had a long trip. We played Western Washington last Thursday. Turned out to be another epic battle between two very good teams that came right down to the end. We lost in 5 games. Disappointing loss, but I was pretty happy with the way we played in a very hostile environment and against a very good team. Western Washington is leading the conference right now. We certainly had many chances, I think, to win that match. Statistically, we could have won that match just based on statistics, but we'll find a way. I think we're getting better, and our team is gaining confidence as we go along, and one of these days we're going to do some significant things. And then we went up to Vancouver on Saturday night and played Simon Fraser. Probably the longest of our trips in terms of just the distance we have to go and getting across the border and all that stuff. And Canada is, as much as they are like America, it's still just different being there, you know, just the food and the restaurants and everything is just slightly different. And I think actually it's a great educational opportunity for my players, and we tried to spend as much time in Canada as we could, and played a very good match against Simon Fraser on Saturday night. We won that match 3-0 and got in a bus and had the long 8-hour drive back to Monmouth. Got into Monmouth about 4:30 on Sunday morning. So these trips are long, and but every team has to go through the same sequence of trips. It just happens that we're geographically kind of on the periphery of many of the teams in our conference, so a lot of our teams are, or a lot of our trips are difficult.
Well, something else to come out this last weekend, we kind of, there was kind of a grouping of a lot of the top teams in there. Although Seattle Pacific had been doing pretty good, they ended up losing on the road at Northwest Nazarene. Northwest Nazarene, I believe, has won 4 straight matches, kind of throwing themselves right back in the thick of things. Kind of there at the top, you got Western Washington, who after their wins this last weekend did take over first place. You have Seattle Pacific right there. You have Northwest Nazarene right behind them, and then you guys. It's a pretty tight race.
And don't forget Alaska Anchorage.
Absolutely.
So it's crazy. GNAC volleyball is as close and competitive as I've ever seen it. And it's not over. The whole story is yet to be written. As you said, Western Washington is in the lead. They are at Alaska this week. So those are very intriguing matches. We play SPU here at our place on Saturday. First, we have to get through Montana Billings. I know we'll talk about that a little bit more, but yeah, the conference is exciting and it's up for grabs. And as I said, the matches overall in the whole conference have been just unbelievably competitive and exciting, and it's a really interesting conference race.
And as you mentioned, you still have the opportunity to play Alaska Anchorage, Seattle Pacific, and Northwest Nazarene as well. So you guys still have the opportunity, maybe not control complete fate, but you guys still have an opportunity to go head-to-head against a lot of these teams and not win and pray, but you guys have a chance to knock them off yourself.
You know, that's right. We still have a chance to be heard from, for sure. There's 4 weeks left in the season. 3 of those 4 weeks are at home. I'm excited about that. We've paid our road dues. And starting with this week, we have 2 really important and difficult home matches. And then next week, we have another really difficult trip at Northwest Nazarene and at Central Washington before we have our 2-week homestand to finish the season.
Fantastic. Well, Brad, we're going to get to hear from you a little later in this week in the preview edition, as we'll talk about Montana State Billings and then that Seattle Pacific team as well. So just want to say, fans, thanks for watching, and come back a little later in the week for the Wolves Volleyball Preview edition of Wolves Weekly.